What if I told you that your mind is the most powerful tool you own? Every thought you have shapes who you are and who you can become. Imagine that just by changing the way you think, you could change your life. It sounds simple, but this is the truth that has transformed countless lives around the world. Before we begin, if you love learning how to grow and improve yourself, make sure to subscribe to this channel. By doing that, you'll never miss a chapter that could help you unlock your full potential. Chapter 1. Your mind, your power. Your mind is like a garden. Every thought you think is a seed. Some seeds grow into beautiful flowers, while others turn into weeds if you're not careful. The amazing part is that you get to choose which seeds to plant and which to remove. The moment you start noticing your thoughts, you begin to shape your life. Take Alex, for example. He wanted to do well at school, but every time he faced a hard problem, he thought, I can't do this. His mind believed it, and soon he started avoiding challenges, feeling frustrated and falling behind. Now imagine if Alex had thought differently. If he had told himself, I can figure this out, he would have felt curious instead of scared. He would have tried, made mistakes, learned from them, and improved. Thoughts directly shape actions. Your thoughts affect your feelings too. Positive thoughts bring energy, confidence, and motivation. Negative thoughts spark doubt, fear, and anxiety. Imagine standing in front of your class to give a presentation. Thinking, I'm going to fail, makes your heart race, your palms sweat, and your mind panic. But thinking, I am ready, and I can do this, relaxes your body and sharpens your focus. Thoughts lead to feelings, feelings lead to actions, and actions create results. Consider Emma, a young artist. She believed her art could touch people's hearts. Every day she imagined her paintings displayed in galleries. She practiced, experimented, and shared her work. Her positive mindset gave her courage to take risks, and over time, she became successful. If she had constantly doubted herself, she would have given up long ago. Her mind shaped her reality. Controlling your thoughts starts with awareness. Notice the thoughts that appear throughout the day. Are they helping you or holding you back? Start a simple habit. When a negative thought arises, pause and ask, is this true? Is this helpful? Often, the thought is just an old habit, not reality. Next, replace limiting thoughts with empowering ones. Change I can't learn this to I will learn this, step by step. Even small shifts in thinking can create significant changes over time. Small seeds planted today grow into big results tomorrow. Visualization is another powerful tool. Take a few minutes each day to imagine your goals as already achieved. Picture yourself acting confidently, solving problems successfully, or completing tasks with ease. The brain begins to accept these images as reality, aligning your actions with your vision. Consistency is key. Your mind is like a muscle. It grows stronger the more you exercise it. Just as athletes practice every day, you must practice positive thinking every day. Even when it feels strange at first, persistence produces real results. For example, Sarah wanted to become a confident public speaker. Every morning she spent 5 minutes imagining herself talking clearly and calmly. During the day she noticed moments of doubt and gently replaced them with positive thoughts. Weeks later she spoke confidently in class, at meetings, and with friends. Thoughts shaped feelings, feelings guided actions, and actions produced results. Setbacks happen. Everyone experiences moments of doubt and fear. What matters is how you respond. A single negative thought doesn't define you. Your reaction does. When a negative thought appears, acknowledge it, then consciously choose a better one. Over time, this habit reshapes your mental garden. Your environment also affects your mind. Surround yourself with people, books, and activities that support positive thinking. Negative influences plant weeds in your mind, while positive influences provide sunlight and water, helping good thoughts grow strong. Start small. You don't have to change everything at once. Pick one thought pattern and practice changing it for a week. Then pick another. Gradually, your mind adapts and your life transforms. Direction matters more than perfection. The thoughts you nurture today determine the life you experience tomorrow. Remember, what you focus on expands. Focus on problems, and they grow bigger. Focus on solutions, and opportunities appear. Your attention is like a flashlight. Point it where you want growth, not fear. Awareness, choice, visualization, consistency, environment, and focus. These 6 steps form the foundation for mastering your mind. Apply them patiently every day, and you will notice powerful changes in your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Ask yourself, which thought patterns are shaping your life right now? Becoming aware of them is the first step toward taking control. In the next chapter, we will explore the power of habits and how small daily actions can create extraordinary results. Chapter 2. The power of habits. Habits are like the building blocks of your life. Every small action you repeat becomes part of who you are. Some habits are positive and help you grow, while others are negative and hold you back. Understanding how habits work is the key to shaping your life in the direction you want. Think about Michael, a high school student. Every morning he would scroll through his phone for an hour before getting out of bed. Over time, this habit made him late for school, stressed and tired. On the other hand, his friend Lisa spent the same hour reading a book or planning her day. Lisa felt calm, organized, and energized. Even though both had the same amount of time in the morning, their habits created very different outcomes. Habits start with small actions. You may not notice them at first, but repeated over days, weeks, and months, they shape your life. For example, brushing your teeth may seem simple, but it is a habit that keeps you healthy without thinking about it. Similarly, reading for 20 minutes a day may not feel like much, but over a year, it could help you gain knowledge equivalent to a full course of study. The most powerful habits are the ones that become automatic. Imagine learning to ride a bike. At first, every movement required attention and effort. You had to balance, pedal, and steer all at once. After practice, it became second nature. You didn't have to think about it consciously anymore. Life-changing habits work the same way. Consistent practice turns conscious effort into automatic action. One important concept is the cue routine reward cycle. Every habit has 3 parts: a cue that triggers the habit, the routine itself, and the reward that reinforces it. For instance, imagine you feel stressed, cue, and you bite your nails, routine, to feel calmer, reward. Understanding this cycle allows you to replace bad habits with better ones. Instead of biting nails, you might take deep breaths or write down your thoughts, still achieving the sense of relief. Building new habits requires starting small. If your goal is to exercise daily, begin with just 5 minutes a day. This may seem tiny, but it makes starting easier. Once the habit is consistent, gradually increase the time or intensity. Small habits are easier to stick to and eventually grow into larger, life-changing behaviors. Consistency is more important than perfection. Missing one day does not ruin progress. The key is to get back on track immediately. Habits are built over time, not in a single day. Think about planting a tree. You water it regularly, not just once, and over months and years it grows strong. Your mind works in the same way. Repeated actions form lasting patterns. Environment plays a huge role in shaping habits. If you want to read more, keep books where you can see them. If you want to eat healthier, place fruits and vegetables in easy reach and remove junk food from sight. Your surroundings can support positive habits and reduce temptations for negative ones. Another powerful technique is habit stacking. This means linking a new habit to an existing one. For example, if you already brush your teeth every morning, you can stack a new habit, like doing 5 minutes of stretching immediately after. Linking habits makes it easier to remember and stick to them. Motivation helps, but it is unreliable. if used alone. Habits are most effective when they become part of your routine, independent of how motivated you feel. Motivation comes and goes, but routines are consistent. Think about waking up early. On days you feel lazy, your routine still gets you moving because it has become automatic. Tracking progress makes habits stick. Simply marking a calendar each day you complete your habit can reinforce your behavior. Seeing progress visually encourages you to continue. Even small streaks of success create a sense of accomplishment and motivate you to keep going. Habits also affect your identity. When you repeat a behavior over time, you begin to see yourself as the type of person who does it. Exercising regularly turns you into someone who is fit and disciplined. Reading daily turns you into a learner. Changing habits is not just about actions. It's about becoming the person you want to be. Let's return to Michael and Lisa. If Michael decided to swap his morning phone habit with a short walk and journaling, over time, he would feel more energetic, focused, and confident. These small changes, repeated consistently, would transform not only his mornings, but his entire approach to life. Habits are the bridge between who you are now and who you want to become. One final thought: be patient with yourself. Building habits takes time. Start small, be consistent, and use your environment to support you. Replace negative routines with positive ones using the Q routine reward cycle. Celebrate tiny successes, because they add up. Over weeks and months, the accumulation of small habits creates extraordinary results. By understanding habits and consciously shaping them, you can take control of your daily life. Your habits determine your health, your knowledge, your productivity, and ultimately, your future. The power of habits is within your reach. Start small today and watch how life changes over time. As you finish this chapter, think about one habit you want to develop or improve. Begin with a small action tomorrow. In the next chapter, we will explore how your thoughts influence your actions and how combining positive habits with empowering thoughts creates unstoppable momentum. Chapter 3: Thoughts Shape Actions. Every action you take starts with a thought. Before you speak, before you move, before you make a decision, your mind forms an idea. Thoughts are the starting point, the blueprint of everything you do. If you can control your thoughts, you can shape your actions and in turn your life. Consider Jason, a teenager who wanted to improve at basketball. Every day before practice, he would think, "I'm not good enough to make the team." Because of this thought, he played hesitantly, missed opportunities, and avoided taking risks. His skills didn't improve because his mind had already limited him. Then one day he decided to change his thinking. He told himself, "I am capable of learning, and every mistake helps me get better." With this new mindset, he played confidently, tried new moves, and practiced harder. Over weeks, his performance improved dramatically. His thoughts had shaped his actions, and his actions shaped his reality. Thoughts influence not just big actions, but also the small, everyday choices. Simple decisions like whether to study for 15 minutes, take a walk, or speak kindly to someone all start with what's going on in your mind. When you consistently think positively and make mindful choices, your actions become aligned with your goals. Let's take Maria as an example. She wanted to improve her grades in school. She noticed that every time she opened her textbook, she thought, "This is too hard, I can't do it." Her study sessions were short, distracted, and unproductive. Then she shifted her thoughts. "I can take this one step at a time, and I will understand it." Suddenly, her focus improved. She spent more time studying, asked questions, and slowly mastered the material. The transformation didn't happen overnight, but the consistent shift in her thinking led to consistent, productive actions. Thoughts are often influenced by beliefs. A belief is a thought you accept as true. If you believe you are smart, creative, or capable, your actions reflect that confidence. If you believe you are unlucky, inadequate, or unworthy, your actions reflect doubt and hesitation. Changing beliefs is challenging, but possible. You start by noticing negative beliefs, questioning them, and replacing them with positive, empowering ones. Visualization works hand in hand with this. When you imagine yourself succeeding, your mind begins to act as if success is possible. Athletes, performers, and leaders all use visualization to prepare for challenges. Imagining a successful outcome triggers actions that bring it closer to reality. Your mind responds to what it pictures, and your actions follow. Another key idea is self-talk. The way you talk to yourself impacts your feelings and decisions. If your inner voice is critical and negative, it undermines your confidence and performance. If your inner voice is encouraging, patient, and optimistic, it strengthens resilience and persistence. Try noticing your self-talk for a day. Replace phrases like, "I can't do this" with, "I will try my best and learn from it." The effects on your actions will be immediate and powerful. Habits and thoughts work together. Positive habits reinforce positive thinking, and positive thinking reinforces positive habits. When these align, your actions become almost automatic in moving you toward your goals. For example, if you habitually review notes for 10 minutes every day, habit, and believe "I am capable of learning and growing" thought, the combination ensures steady progress and builds momentum. Your environment also impacts the thoughts you have. Surround yourself with supportive people, inspiring content, and reminders of your goals. If your environment constantly triggers negative thoughts, it will influence your actions in ways that hold you back. Adjusting your surroundings is a simple but effective way to guide your thinking toward action. Mistakes and failures are part of the process. When you act based on a thought, it may not always lead to success. That is okay. What matters is how you respond. Each mistake provides feedback and learning opportunities. Thoughts that embrace growth, curiosity, and learning transform failures into stepping stones. Let's look at Ethan, who wanted to write a short story. He kept thinking, "I'm not creative enough. I will never finish it." He started, struggled, and abandoned the first draft. Then he thought, "Even a first draft teaches me something. I can improve it." He returned to his story, edited, revised, and completed it. By changing his thoughts, he changed his actions, and his actions brought results. Consistency in linking thoughts to actions builds character. Every small decision creates momentum. Saying yes to positive actions repeatedly makes those actions habitual. Saying no to negative or unhelpful actions strengthens discipline. Over time, these patterns create a life aligned with your goals, values, and dreams. One practical approach is to start each day with intention. Take a few moments to decide what thoughts you want to focus on and what actions you want to take. This simple morning habit directs your mind toward productivity, positivity, and growth. Even minor adjustments, like choosing patience over frustration, curiosity over doubt, or effort over avoidance, compound into meaningful results over weeks and months. Finally, understand the ripple effect. One thought leads to one action, which influences the next decision, creating a chain that ultimately shapes your life. Small positive thoughts and actions may seem insignificant at first, but their accumulation over time creates extraordinary changes. Thoughts shape actions, actions shape habits, and habits shape the person you become. As this chapter closes, consider the chain of your own thoughts and actions. Identify one thought that has been holding you back. Replace it with a constructive, positive thought. Observe how your actions change over the next few days. This practice is the bridge from understanding to transformation. In the next chapter, we will explore the power of focus and attention, and how directing your mind deliberately can magnify your results and help you achieve your goals faster. Chapter 4: The Power of Focus. Focus is like a spotlight for your mind. Whatever you shine your attention on grows stronger. If you focus on distractions, they grow and consume your energy. If you focus on your goals, they expand and guide your action. Learning to control focus is one of the most powerful skills for shaping your life. Consider Lily, a student who wanted to improve her grades. She tried to study, but her attention kept drifting to her phone, social media, or daydreams. Her mind was like a room filled with scattered lights. Nothing shone bright enough to create real progress. Then she decided to practice focus. Each time she sat to study, she set a small timer for 20 minutes, putting her phone away. During that time, she concentrated only on one task. Slowly, her attention became sharper, and her study sessions became far more productive. Her grades improved as a result. Focus is not about forcing your mind to work non-stop. It's about choosing where to place your attention. Every person gets the same 24 hours, but what makes someone successful is how they direct their attention. Small actions performed with full focus are far more effective than many actions done carelessly or half-heartedly. One way to strengthen focus is to reduce distractions. Your environment plays a huge role. If you are working in a noisy, cluttered space, your mind will struggle to concentrate. A clean, organized, and quiet environment helps your thoughts stay on task. Even simple actions like turning off notifications, putting your phone on silent, or clearing your desk can make a big difference. Another key to focus is clarity. When your goal is clear, your mind naturally directs attention toward it. Ambiguous or vague goals scatter your energy. For example, if your goal is "I want to be better at math," it is too broad. Instead, "I will solve 10 practice problems every day to improve my algebra skills," gives your mind a clear target. Clear goals focus your attention, and focused attention drives action. Focus also works in cycles. The human mind can concentrate deeply for limited periods before needing rest. Use this to your advantage. Work in short, uninterrupted bursts, then take a brief break. Techniques like the Pomodoro method, where you focus for 25 minutes and rest for 5, leverage the natural rhythm of attention. Over time, this strengthens your mental endurance. Distractions are everywhere. Phones, social media, people, even your own wandering thoughts. Notice when your attention drifts and gently bring it back. Like training a muscle, your focus grows stronger with repeated practice. Each time you return to your task after distraction, you are building mental strength. Your thoughts influence focus too. Negative or scattered thoughts make it harder to concentrate. Positive and organized thinking supports clear attention. For example, starting a project with the thought, "I can handle this step by step," allows you to focus on one task at a time. Starting with, "This is too big, I'll never finish," creates overwhelm and distraction. Visualization can enhance focus as well. Imagine completing a task successfully, staying concentrated, and feeling satisfied. The mind begins to align with that image, increasing your ability to focus in real situations. Athletes, musicians, and top performers all use visualization to maintain attention under pressure. Habits of focus make a huge difference. Reading daily, setting specific times for work, practicing mindfulness, and writing down priorities all strengthen attention. Over time, these habits train the mind to stay on track automatically, reducing wasted energy on irrelevant thoughts. Consider Daniel, a young musician. He wanted to master the piano, but often got distracted by phone notifications. He created a habit. Every practice session was done in a quiet room, phone out of reach, and timer set for focused intervals. Within months, his skill improved faster than ever before. The combination of habit and deliberate focus created results he could not have achieved otherwise. Focus is also about saying no. Every time you choose to pay attention to something, you are choosing not to pay attention to something else. Successful people learn to prioritize their attention on high-value tasks and ignore trivial distractions. This ability multiplies the effectiveness of their actions and accelerates growth. Mindfulness exercises strengthen focus. Simple practices like paying attention to your breath, noticing your surroundings, or tracking your thoughts train the brain to remain present. A mind trained to be present can focus better on any task. Just a few minutes a day can produce noticeable improvements over weeks. Another important principle is energy management. Focus is easier when you are physically rested, nourished, and hydrated. Mental clarity suffers when the body is tired or under stress. Daily routines that support physical well-being, sleep, exercise, proper meals, also enhance focus naturally. Focus compounds over time. A single day of strong attention may produce results, but repeated, consistent focus produces mastery. Small achievements build on each other, leading to significant progress in academics, skills, health, and personal growth. Remember, focus is a skill, not an innate talent. Like any skill, it improves with practice and patience. Start with small tasks, eliminate distractions, and build mental endurance. Each time you successfully focus, your mind strengthens, creating a positive cycle of growth and achievement. By mastering attention, you control the flow of your thoughts and actions. Focus is the bridge between intention and execution. Your mind is the captain, and attention is the rudder guiding your life in the direction you choose. As you finish this chapter, notice how you spend your attention today. Identify one area where you can concentrate more effectively, remove distractions, and dedicate your energy fully. In the next chapter, we will explore the role of self-discipline and how training your mind to follow through can turn your focus into lasting achievements. Chapter 5. The role of self-discipline. Self-discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. It is the ability to take action even when you don't feel like it. Everyone has dreams and desires, but without discipline, those dreams often remain just ideas. Developing self-discipline allows you to follow through on your intentions, turning your plans into real results. Think about Sarah, a student who wanted to improve her writing skills. She enjoyed creative writing, but often procrastinated, waiting for the right mood to strike. Her ideas never became complete stories because she lacked discipline. One day, she made a decision. She would write for just 15 minutes every day, no matter what. Some days she felt inspired, others not, but she wrote anyway. Weeks later, she had completed several short stories. The small disciplined steps accumulated into significant results. Self-discipline starts with clarity. You must know exactly what you want and why it matters. Vague goals are easy to ignore. For example, I want to get better at math is not specific. Instead, I will complete 10 algebra problems every day to improve my skills. Gives clear direction. Clear goals make it easier to exercise discipline because your mind knows what action to take. Building discipline requires controlling your impulses. Life constantly presents distractions, social media, games, chatting with friends, or even your own cravings for comfort. Discipline means choosing long-term benefits over short-term pleasures. When you resist the urge to procrastinate and take action, your self-control strengthens. Consider David, who wanted to become fit. Every evening he felt tired and wanted to skip workouts. At first he made excuses and skipped days. Then he committed to discipline. Even when tired, he exercised for at least 10 minutes. Soon, the habit became automatic. His small acts of self-discipline multiplied into a routine that transformed his health over months. Self-discipline is not about perfection. It's about consistency and persistence. Missing a day or making a mistake does not mean failure. What matters is returning to your plan and continuing. The key is resilience, the ability to start again, keep going, and stay on track despite setbacks. Habits and self-discipline work hand in hand. Habits make disciplined actions easier because they reduce the need for constant decision-making. When positive habits are in place, discipline becomes a natural extension of your routine. For example, brushing your teeth every morning does not require effort or thought. It's automatic. Similarly, exercising, reading, or studying regularly becomes easier once the habit forms. Another aspect of self-discipline is time management. Successful people allocate their time intentionally, focusing on high-value activities instead of distractions. They plan their day, prioritize tasks, and take consistent action toward their goals. Even small, disciplined actions repeated daily produce remarkable long-term results. Self-discipline also involves emotional control. Sometimes we want to act based on temporary feelings like anger, fear, or laziness. Discipline means pausing, thinking about the long-term consequences, and choosing actions that align with your goals. For example, instead of snapping at someone in anger, a disciplined person takes a deep breath and responds thoughtfully. Over time, this control strengthens character and relationships. Motivation is helpful, but unreliable on its own. Discipline ensures that actions continue even when motivation fades. You may feel inspired one day, but tired or distracted the next. Discipline keeps you moving forward, independent of fluctuating emotions. Tracking progress reinforces discipline. Keeping a journal, marking a calendar, or noting achievements creates accountability and encourages consistency. Seeing small wins accumulate motivates you to continue, strengthening self-control further. Self-discipline also helps you resist negative habits, whether it's procrastination, overeating, or wasting time. Disciplined actions prevent these behaviors from controlling your life. Each time you choose the better action, you train your mind to prioritize growth and long-term success. Consider Mia, who struggled with wasting time on social media. She set a rule: only 30 minutes of recreational screen time per day. At first, she found it hard. She felt the urge to scroll endlessly. But by sticking to her rule, she trained herself to control impulses. Her productivity increased. She completed schoolwork on time, and she discovered more meaningful hobbies. Discipline also builds confidence. When you consistently follow through on your intentions, you prove to yourself that you are reliable and capable. Confidence grows as you see the results of your actions. Each small disciplined step reinforces the belief that you can achieve what you set out to do. A practical way to develop discipline is to start with small commitments. Choose one area of your life where you want improvement and take a tiny, consistent step every day. Even 5 minutes of focused work, a short daily walk, or writing a paragraph every day builds momentum. Over time, these small actions compound into lasting habits and remarkable progress. Another powerful technique is accountability. Sharing your goals with a trusted friend, mentor, or family member increases your commitment. Knowing someone is aware of your progress encourages you to stick to your plan and strengthens self-discipline. Finally, remember that self-discipline is a skill, not a trait. It can be developed with practice, patience, and persistence. Each small action you take consistently builds mental strength and prepares you to face bigger challenges in life. Discipline turns good intentions into real achievements. By mastering self-discipline, you gain control over your actions, your habits, and ultimately your future. It is the bridge between what you want to do and what you actually accomplish. Consistent, disciplined actions shape your life more than motivation, talent, or luck ever could. As you finish this chapter, reflect on one area where you struggle with self-control. Identify a small action you can take every day to improve it. Practice it consistently and observe how your actions and confidence grow. In the next chapter, we will explore the power of resilience and how bouncing back from setbacks strengthens your mind and your life. Chapter 6. The Power of Resilience. Consider James, a student who failed his first big math test. He felt discouraged and thought, "I'll never be good at math." Many would give up at this point, but James decided to approach it differently. Instead of quitting, he reviewed his mistakes, asked questions, and practiced consistently. His next test showed significant improvement. His resilience turned a setback into an opportunity to grow. Resilience is the ability to bounce back when life gets tough. Everyone faces setbacks, failures, or disappointments. What separates successful people from others is not that they never fail, but that they refuse to stay down. Resilience allows you to keep moving forward, learn from difficulties, and grow stronger with every challenge. One key to building resilience is adaptability. Life rarely goes exactly as planned. Being able to adjust your approach without losing sight of your goal makes you stronger. For example, imagine Mia, who planned a school project but her team members didn't cooperate. Instead of giving up, she adjusted her plan, delegated tasks differently, and completed the project successfully. Adapting to change is at the heart of resilience. Resilience starts with mindset. When you see challenges as temporary and solvable, you respond with effort instead of fear. People who are resilient understand that failure is part of learning. They view mistakes not as evidence of inability, but as feedback to improve. Small acts of resilience happen every day. Waking up early despite tiredness, finishing a homework assignment even when distracted, or apologizing after making a mistake are all examples of resilience in action. Each small act strengthens mental toughness, preparing you for bigger challenges. Self-care is also vital. When the body and mind are healthy, it is easier to recover from difficulties. Adequate sleep, proper nutrition, physical activity, and relaxation help your mind stay focused and strong. A resilient mind cannot thrive without a resilient body. Another important element is emotional control. Resilient people experience emotions like frustration, anger, or disappointment, but do not let them dictate their actions. They acknowledge their feelings, process them, and then choose the next constructive step. This emotional regulation prevents setbacks from turning into long-term failures. Support systems play a role too. Friends, family, or mentors provide encouragement, advice, and perspective. Talking about challenges can reduce stress and provide solutions you might not see alone. Surrounding yourself with positive influences strengthens resilience and reminds you that setbacks are temporary. Positive thinking reinforces resilience. Believing that you can overcome difficulties motivates you to take action. Visualization of success, combined with disciplined effort, prepares your mind for setbacks and equips you to recover faster. Resilience grows through repeated exposure to challenges. Just like exercising a muscle, facing small difficulties regularly builds strength. Avoiding all discomfort may feel safe, but it limits growth. Taking on manageable challenges stretches your abilities and builds confidence to handle bigger obstacles. Let's look at Alex, who wanted to run a 5-kilometer race. During training, he struggled to run more than a kilometer. Many would have quit. Instead, he kept practicing daily, gradually increasing his distance. Each time he overcame a small struggle, he built resilience. By race day, he completed the course successfully. Incremental challenges build long-term strength. Resilience also involves persistence. Sometimes progress is slow, and results are not immediate. Sticking with your efforts, even when it feels like nothing is changing, develops endurance. Long-term goals require consistent, resilient action. Failures are teachers. The more you analyze what went wrong, the more lessons you gain. Keeping a journal or reflecting on experiences helps turn negative events into constructive knowledge. Each lesson learned adds to your mental toolkit, making future challenges easier to navigate. Consider the story of Emma, a young entrepreneur. Her first 2 attempts to launch a small business failed. Most people would have stopped after repeated losses. Instead, she analyzed what went wrong, sought advice, and launched a 3rd business with improvements. This venture succeeded. Her resilience transformed repeated failure into eventual success. Self-discipline, focus, and resilience work together. Discipline ensures you act consistently, focus directs your energy on the right tasks, and resilience keeps you going when difficulties arise. Together, they form a strong foundation for personal growth. Practical ways to build resilience include setting small challenges, practicing emotional awareness, maintaining healthy habits, and reflecting on progress. When setbacks occur, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I adapt and improve? This mindset turns obstacles into opportunities. Finally, resilience creates confidence. Each time you overcome a challenge, you prove to yourself that you are capable. Over time, this self-belief grows, making future setbacks less intimidating. Resilience is not about avoiding difficulties, it's about handling them and emerging stronger every time. As you finish this chapter, reflect on a recent challenge you faced. How did you respond? Identify one way you could approach similar situations with greater resilience in the future. In the next chapter, we will explore the importance of goal setting and how defining clear, actionable objectives can guide your life and amplify your progress. Chapter 7: The Importance of Goal Setting. Goals are like the map for your life. Without them, you may wander aimlessly, unsure of where to go or how to get there. Setting clear goals gives direction to your actions and purpose to your efforts. Goals help you measure progress, stay motivated, and achieve what you truly want. Consider Ava, a student who wanted to improve her grades. Without specific goals, she studied randomly, unsure of which subjects needed more attention. Her efforts were scattered, and her results remained average. Then she decided to set clear goals. She would spend 30 minutes each day reviewing math problems, 20 minutes reading, and 15 minutes practicing writing. Her study sessions became structured and focused. Over time, her grades improved steadily. The difference came from having defined, actionable goals. Goals give your mind clarity. When you know exactly what you want, your brain naturally directs your attention and energy toward achieving it. Vague ideas like "I want to be better at sports" are less effective than specific goals, like "I will practice basketball for 20 minutes every day to improve my shooting skills." Clear goals allow you to plan actions, track progress, and adjust strategies along the way. Short-term and long-term goals work best together. Short-term goals break down bigger objectives into manageable steps, while long-term goals provide overall direction. For example, if your long-term goal is to run a marathon, short-term goals could include running a mile without stopping, then gradually increasing distance each week. Each small success builds confidence and brings you closer to your ultimate objective. Goal setting also motivates action. Knowing what you want to achieve gives you a reason to act, even when you feel tired or distracted. Goals create focus by prioritizing your time and energy. Without them, it's easy to get sidetracked by less important tasks or immediate pleasures. Consider Leo, who wanted to learn piano. Without goals, he played randomly, practicing only what he liked. Progress was slow, and he became frustrated. Once he set a goal to learn a new song each week, his practice became purposeful. He tracked progress, adjusted his technique, and celebrated small wins. Motivation and focus increased because he had a clear target. Writing down goals makes them more tangible. Studies show that people who write their goals are more likely to achieve them. The act of writing helps clarify thinking, reinforces commitment, and creates a visual reminder of what you are working toward. Keeping a journal or planner allows you to track daily actions, record progress, and reflect on what works and what doesn't. Another key aspect is setting goals that are challenging but achievable. Goals that are too easy may not inspire growth, while goals that are unrealistic can cause frustration. Find a balance that stretches your abilities without overwhelming you. For example, increasing your reading from 10 minutes a day to 20 is challenging yet achievable. Over time, you can raise the bar higher. Goals also strengthen resilience and self-discipline. When setbacks occur, a clear goal provides a reason to keep going. You are less likely to give up because your focus is on the desired outcome. Self-discipline ensures you continue taking small actions toward your goal, even when motivation fades. Visualization enhances goal achievement. Picture yourself accomplishing the goal, feeling the satisfaction, and enjoying the results. This mental rehearsal prepares your mind to act in ways that align with success. Athletes, performers, and leaders all use visualization to reinforce their goals and stay committed. Tracking progress is essential. Each small step toward a goal matters. Celebrate milestones, no matter how minor, because they reinforce behavior and build momentum. For instance, if your goal is to write a story, completing a single page is progress. Recognizing small wins keeps motivation high and strengthens commitment. Goals should be flexible. Life changes, circumstances shift, and unexpected challenges arise. Adapt your goals as needed without losing sight of your overall vision. Flexibility ensures that setbacks do not derail progress, but instead teach lessons and create alternative paths to success. Peer and mentor support can improve goal achievement. Sharing your goals with someone you trust provides accountability, encouragement, and feedback. Knowing someone is aware of your progress motivates you to stay on track and seek advice when obstacles arise. Goals also help you make better daily decisions. Each choice becomes easier when evaluated against your objectives. For example, if your goal is to improve health, saying no to junk food or yes to exercise aligns with your intention. Goals act as a filter for your actions, keeping you on the right path. Finally, goal setting fosters confidence. Achieving small goals proves to yourself that you are capable. Each success builds belief in your abilities, which encourages you to aim higher and take on bigger challenges. Over time, consistent goal setting and achievement shape a life of progress, purpose, and fulfillment. As you finish this chapter, take a moment to write down one short-term goal and one long-term goal. Break them into actionable steps and plan how you will track progress. In the next chapter, we will explore the power of gratitude and how focusing on what you have can transform your mindset and amplify your results. Chapter 8. The Power of Gratitude. Gratitude is the simple practice of noticing and appreciating the good things in your life. It may sound small, but it has the power to completely change your mindset. People who focus on what they are thankful for tend to be happier, more resilient, and more successful because their minds concentrate on opportunities instead of problems. Consider Emma, a student who often felt stressed and overwhelmed by schoolwork. She focused on what was going wrong, thinking, "I'll never finish all of this," or "I'm not smart enough." Her stress made it difficult to focus or enjoy her studies. One day she started a small practice. Each morning she wrote down 3 things she was grateful for. At first it was simple: her family, a sunny day, or a friend's kindness. Over time, she noticed a shift. Instead of dwelling on problems, she began to see opportunities, progress, and support around her. Her mood improved, and she approached challenges with a positive mindset. Gratitude shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance. When your mind notices the good things, it naturally reduces stress and negative thinking. Even difficult situations contain lessons or small positives if you look for them. For example, if you struggle with a tough assignment, you can be grateful for the chance to learn and improve. Recognizing the positive aspects in any situation strengthens your resilience and mental strength. Practicing gratitude can be simple and consistent. Keep a journal or a note on your phone and write down a few things each day that you appreciate. These do not have to be large achievements. Small moments, a smile from a friend, a kind word, or finishing a task are enough. Over time, these small acknowledgements add up, rewiring your mind to notice good instead of bad. Gratitude also improves relationships. When you express appreciation for others, they feel valued and respected. This strengthens bonds and creates a positive environment around you. Simple gestures like saying thank you or acknowledging someone's help build trust and connection. Positive relationships, in turn, reinforce your own happiness and growth. Even in challenging times, gratitude can change your perspective. Think about Lucas, who injured his leg and could not participate in sports for months. Initially, he felt frustrated and depressed. Then, he began focusing on things he could do: reading, learning new skills, and spending time with friends. By acknowledging the positives, he stayed motivated, found new opportunities, and returned stronger when he recovered. Gratitude encourages a growth mindset. When you appreciate effort, progress, and learning, you are more likely to embrace challenges instead of fearing failure. Instead of thinking, "I'm not good at this," a grateful mindset helps you say, "I'm glad I have the opportunity to try and improve." This subtle shift creates stronger motivation and better results over time. Another benefit of gratitude is improved focus. When your mind notices positive elements, it naturally reduces distractions caused by worry, jealousy, or negative thinking. You can concentrate more effectively on your tasks and make better decisions. Visualization paired with gratitude can amplify its effects. Imagine yourself achieving a goal and take a moment to feel grateful for the progress you have made, the skills you have developed, and the support you have received. Feeling gratitude for your efforts and resources creates a mindset of abundance, attracting more opportunities and success. Daily routines enhance the power of gratitude. Many successful people start or end their day with a gratitude practice. By making it a habit, gratitude becomes automatic, and your mind naturally focuses on positive aspects of life. Even when challenges arise, this habit provides stability and perspective. Gratitude also helps manage stress and negative emotions. When you are thankful for what you have, complaints, jealousy, and worry lose power. The mind shifts from reacting emotionally to responding thoughtfully. This emotional regulation improves decision-making and strengthens mental resilience. Consider Maya, who faced a lot of pressure from school and extracurricular activities. By practicing gratitude daily, she learned to balance her commitments without feeling overwhelmed. She noticed small victories, celebrated progress, and stayed motivated. Her focus improved, her stress decreased, and she enjoyed the process of growth rather than just the results. Gratitude reinforces other personal growth skills. When combined with focus, self-discipline, resilience, and goal setting, it creates a mindset that notices opportunities, takes consistent action, and learns from challenges. It acts as a glue that keeps your mind positive and motivated. Even small, consistent expressions of gratitude create a ripple effect. One act of appreciation can lift someone else's mood, encourage cooperation, and build a supportive environment. In turn, this positive environment reinforces your own growth and mental well-being. Practical ways to practice gratitude include writing daily lists, mentally reviewing your day, expressing appreciation to others, and reflecting on lessons learned from challenges. These practices strengthen your mindset, enhance focus, and increase resilience. As you finish this chapter, take a moment to reflect on 3 things you are grateful for today. Notice how this practice shifts your mood and perspective. In the next chapter, we will explore the power of visualization and how imagining success in vivid detail can accelerate your personal growth and help you achieve your goals faster. Chapter 9: The Power of Visualization. Visualization is the process of imagining your goals and desired outcomes as if they are already happening. It is a mental rehearsal that prepares your mind and body to take action toward success. People who practice visualization consistently often achieve better results because their minds are trained to focus, anticipate challenges, and respond with confidence. Consider Jake, a student who wanted to improve his public speaking. He felt nervous and often stumbled over words in front of his class. A teacher suggested that he try visualization. Each day, Jake spent 10 minutes imagining himself standing confidently, speaking clearly, and receiving applause. He pictured the classroom, the faces of classmates, and the tone of his voice. After a few weeks, he noticed a change. He felt calmer during real presentations, spoke more confidently, and gradually improved. Visualization had prepared his mind and body to perform successfully. Visualization works because the brain often cannot distinguish between real and vividly imagined experiences. When you imagine success, your mind responds as if it were happening. Your body adjusts, your emotions align, and your focus strengthens. Over time, this mental rehearsal increases your chances of achieving the imagined outcome. Athletes, performers, and leaders use visualization regularly. A basketball player might imagine taking free throws under pressure. A musician might picture playing a difficult piece flawlessly, and a leader might rehearse delivering an inspiring speech. In every case, visualization improves performance by creating a mental blueprint for success. Visualization also strengthens motivation. When you imagine achieving your goals, you experience the positive emotions associated with success: pride, joy, excitement. These emotions reinforce commitment and encourage you to take consistent action. For example, seeing yourself crossing a finish line in a race motivates you to train even on days you feel tired. A key principle is vivid detail. The more sensory information you include in your visualization, the stronger its effect. Imagine not just the event, but the sounds, sights, feelings, and even smells associated with success. For example, if you are visualizing giving a speech, picture your posture, the tone of your voice, the reactions of your audience, and the feeling of confidence in your chest. This vivid rehearsal strengthens neural pathways in your brain and prepares you to act effectively. Visualization is also useful for overcoming fear and building resilience. Imagine facing a challenging situation in advance, practicing your response, and succeeding in your mind. When the real situation arises, you feel more prepared, confident, and capable. This reduces anxiety and increases your ability to respond calmly. Let's take Sophia, who wanted to audition for a school play. She feared forgetting lines and performing poorly. Every night she imagined herself on stage, remembering her lines perfectly, and receiving applause. When audition day came, she performed with confidence. The mental rehearsal of success had prepared her to act as if she were already capable. Consistency is crucial. Visualization works best when practiced regularly, ideally daily. Short sessions of 5 to 15 minutes each day are effective. Incorporate visualization into your morning routine, before tasks, or before challenging events. The cumulative effect strengthens your mind's ability to focus, anticipate, and succeed. Visualization complements goal setting. Clear goals provide direction, while visualization provides mental rehearsal of achieving them. Together they create a powerful combination: clarity of purpose plus confident execution. For example, if your goal is to improve at math, visualize yourself solving problems accurately, understanding concepts, and feeling proud of your progress. This strengthens your mind and guides your actions toward achievement. Self-talk enhances visualization. As you imagine success, pair it with encouraging phrases like, "I am capable," "I am prepared," or "I can handle this challenge." Combining mental imagery with positive self-talk reinforces confidence and readiness. Visualization also helps in skill development. Musicians, athletes, and artists often imagine themselves practicing perfectly, even when not physically performing. The mind learns patterns, sequences, and actions during visualization, making real-life execution smoother and more effective. Focus during visualization is important. Avoid distractions and immerse yourself in the imagined scenario. Picture the outcome, feel the associated emotions, and see yourself performing confidently. The more attention you give, the more your brain internalizes the experience. Visualization helps overcome limiting beliefs. If you doubt your abilities, imagining success repeatedly trains your mind to believe in possibility. Thoughts, actions, and confidence gradually align with the vision you create. Over time, visualization transforms mindset, behavior, and results. For practical application, start with one goal. Close your eyes, take deep breaths, and imagine achieving the goal vividly. Feel the satisfaction, pride, and excitement as if it is already real. Do this daily, and notice how your motivation, confidence, and focus grow. Visualization works best when combined with action. Imagining success is not enough. It primes your mind, but consistent effort turns the vision into reality. Think of it as a rehearsal before the main performance. The more you practice mentally and physically, the closer you get to success. Finally, remember that your imagination is powerful. By regularly visualizing your goals, successes, and positive outcomes, you train your mind to expect achievement, overcome challenges, and persist even when obstacles arise. Visualization strengthens focus, motivation, and resilience, guiding your actions toward extraordinary results. As you finish this chapter, choose one goal and spend a few minutes each day visualizing yourself achieving it. Notice how this practice changes your confidence, focus, and actions over time. In the next chapter, we will explore the importance of mindset and how cultivating a growth-oriented attitude can unlock your potential and transform your life. Chapter 10: Cultivating a Growth Mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that your abilities and intelligence can improve with effort, learning, and persistence. People with a growth mindset see challenges as opportunities, failures as lessons, and effort as the path to mastery. Cultivating this mindset can transform how you approach life, learning, and personal growth. Consider Ben, a student who struggled with science. He often thought, "I'm just not good at this subject." With this fixed mindset, he avoided difficult topics, gave up easily, and didn't put in consistent effort. His grades stayed the same, and he felt frustrated. Then Ben learned about the growth mindset. He began to tell himself, "I can get better if I practice and learn from mistakes." This shift in thinking changed everything. He tackled challenging problems, asked questions, and studied consistently. Over time, his understanding and grades improved significantly. A growth mindset changes how you view failure. Instead of seeing mistakes as evidence of inability, you see them as feedback. Each error provides information about what to improve. This mindset encourages experimentation, learning, and persistence. People with a fixed mindset often avoid risks to prevent failure, while those with a growth mindset embrace challenges because they know growth comes from effort and learning. Daily habits reinforce a growth mindset. Reading, practicing skills, reflecting on progress, and embracing challenges all strengthen the belief that growth is possible. Over time, these habits become second nature, and challenges no longer feel threatening. They become opportunities to develop. Self-talk is essential in cultivating a growth mindset. Replace thoughts like, "I can't do this," with "I can improve if I try and learn." Words shape your mental patterns. Positive, growth-oriented self-talk encourages persistence, builds confidence, and guides behavior toward improvement. Visualization complements a growth mindset. Imagine yourself successfully learning a new skill or solving a difficult problem. Picture the process, including mistakes, learning moments, and eventual success. This mental rehearsal reinforces belief in your ability to grow and strengthens motivation to take action. Feedback is another important element. People with a growth mindset welcome constructive feedback because it provides guidance for improvement. Instead of taking criticism personally, they analyze it, identify actionable steps, and adjust their approach. This openness to learning accelerates growth and builds resilience. Consider Zoe, an aspiring artist. Early in her practice, her drawings were not very good. Rather than quitting, she sought advice from teachers, watched tutorials, and practiced daily. Her growth mindset helped her see mistakes as lessons rather than failures. Over months, her skills improved remarkably, and she developed confidence in her abilities. A growth mindset also improves resilience. When you believe that effort leads to improvement, setbacks become temporary. Challenges no longer feel like insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities to learn and become stronger. This mindset helps you stay motivated and persistent, even in difficult situations. Comparison to others becomes less important with a growth mindset. Instead of feeling inadequate when someone else succeeds, you see their success as inspiration and a learning opportunity. You focus on your own progress, celebrate small achievements, and continue developing your skills. Setting goals aligns perfectly with a growth mindset. Goals provide direction, while the belief in growth ensures that you pursue them with effort and perseverance. Each small step toward a goal reinforces the mindset that abilities can expand through practice and learning. Learning new skills, facing challenges, and reflecting on experiences are all ways to strengthen a growth mindset. Over time, this mindset becomes a lens through which you see the world, a lens that prioritizes effort, curiosity, learning, and self-improvement. Consider Ethan, who wanted to learn coding. Initially, he struggled with complex concepts and debugging errors. A fixed mindset would have led him to quit, thinking coding was too difficult. Instead, with a growth mindset, he tackled one problem at a time, sought help when stuck, and celebrated small wins. Each challenge he overcame reinforced his belief in his ability to learn, and eventually he became proficient. Mindset influences other personal growth skills: focus, self-discipline, resilience, visualization, gratitude, and goal setting all work better when paired with a growth mindset. Believing in your ability to improve ensures that you keep trying, learning, and pushing forward, even when progress is slow. Practical steps to cultivate a growth mindset include recognizing fixed mindset thoughts, replacing them with growth-oriented self-talk, embracing challenges, seeking feedback, reflecting on progress, and celebrating effort rather than only results. Over time, these habits reshape the way you think, act, and respond to life's challenges. A growth mindset does not mean that improvement is instant. It requires patience, persistence, and daily practice. Small, consistent actions, coupled with the belief that growth is possible, compound over time into significant development. Finally, cultivating a growth mindset empowers you to take control of your life. You understand that your abilities are not fixed. Challenges are opportunities, and effort leads to mastery. With this mindset, learning becomes exciting, setbacks become lessons, and personal growth becomes a lifelong journey. As you finish this chapter, reflect on one area where you feel limited or discouraged. Identify how adopting a growth mindset, believing that you can improve through effort and learning, can change your approach. In the next chapter, we will explore the power of self-belief and how trusting in your own abilities can unlock extraordinary potential. Chapter 11. The power of self-belief. Self-belief is the foundation of all personal growth. It is the confidence that you are capable of achieving your goals, learning new skills, and overcoming obstacles. Without self-belief, even the best plans, habits, and strategies can fail because doubt undermines action. When you trust in your abilities, you unlock the courage, motivation, and resilience needed to succeed. Consider Liam, a student who wanted to compete in a science fair. He was talented and knowledgeable, but he doubted himself. "I'm not good enough," he thought. Because of this, he procrastinated, avoided challenges, and felt anxious. Then he consciously started building self-belief. Each day he reminded himself of past successes, praised his efforts, and focused on what he could control. With time, his confidence grew. He worked consistently, approached problems creatively, and performed well in the competition. His self-belief transformed potential into action. Self-belief begins with mindset. When you focus on your strengths, achievements, and abilities, your mind naturally supports your efforts. Negative self-talk, such as "I can't do this" or "I'm not smart enough," erodes confidence and limits action. Positive affirmations, reflection on past successes, and acknowledging growth reinforce self-belief. Visualization complements self-belief. Imagining yourself achieving goals, handling challenges confidently, or performing skills successfully strengthens trust in your own abilities. Your mind begins to internalize the possibility of success, making you more likely to act with courage and determination. Self-belief also strengthens resilience. Challenges and setbacks are easier to handle when you trust your capacity to overcome them. For example, if you fail a test, self-belief allows you to see it as a temporary obstacle rather than evidence of inability. You approach the next attempt with focus, persistence, and confidence. Consider Ava, who wanted to run a cross-country race. At first she doubted herself, thinking she couldn't complete the course. Each day she reminded herself of her training progress and visualized crossing the finish line. Her growing self-belief gave her the courage to push through fatigue and obstacles. On race day she completed the race successfully. Confidence in her own abilities carried her to the finish. Building self-belief requires taking action. Confidence grows when you test yourself, try new things and achieve results, even small ones. Each successful step reinforces the belief that you can handle more challenges. Avoiding action keeps doubts alive, while action builds proof that you are capable. Goal setting strengthens self-belief. Achieving small, measurable objectives provides tangible evidence of your abilities. Every completed task, no matter how minor, confirms that effort produces results. Over time, this creates an unshakable sense of capability and confidence. Support from others can reinforce self-belief. Encouragement, constructive feedback, and recognition from friends, mentors, or teachers remind you of your abilities and potential. However, self-belief ultimately depends on internal trust. You must acknowledge your own effort and capability rather than relying solely on external validation. Failure is a natural part of growth. Self-belief does not mean you will never fail. It means that even when failure happens, you trust that you can learn, adapt, and improve. Viewing mistakes as temporary setbacks rather than permanent limitations maintains motivation and persistence. Consider Noah, who struggled with public speaking. Each time he stumbled, he felt embarrassed. But by reflecting on progress, practicing consistently, and reminding himself of past successes, he built self-belief. Eventually, he could speak confidently in front of audiences. His trust in his abilities enabled him to keep improving. Self-belief interacts with other personal growth skills: discipline, focus, resilience, visualization, goal setting, and a growth mindset all become more effective when you trust in your own capabilities. Belief fuels action. Action produces results, and results reinforce belief in a continuous cycle. Practical ways to strengthen self-belief include tracking achievements, reflecting on past successes, using positive self-talk, visualizing success, setting and completing small goals, and embracing challenges. Over time, these practices shift your mindset from doubt to confidence. Self-belief also encourages independence and initiative. When you trust yourself, you are more willing to make decisions, take responsibility, and lead projects. This proactive approach creates opportunities and accelerates growth. Finally, self-belief empowers you to pursue ambitious goals. When you trust your abilities, challenges become exciting instead of intimidating, risks are calculated, and obstacles are approached with problem-solving rather than fear. Believing in yourself is the key that unlocks potential, turning dreams into reality. As you finish this chapter, identify one area of your life where self-doubt has been holding you back. Take one small step today that demonstrates your capability. Notice how this action strengthens your confidence and motivates further progress. In the next chapter, we will explore the importance of habits and how consistent routines create lasting personal transformation. Chapter 12: The Power of Habits. Habits are the invisible architecture of your life. They shape your actions, decisions, and ultimately your future. Small, consistent habits create big results over time, while negative habits can silently undermine your progress. Understanding how to develop positive habits and break unproductive ones is essential for personal growth. Consider Jake, a student who wanted to improve his reading skills. Initially, he read only when he felt like it, and progress was slow. Then he decided to form a habit. He would read for 20 minutes every morning, no matter what. Some days he felt tired or distracted, but he followed the routine. After months, his reading speed and comprehension improved dramatically. The consistent habit created results far greater than sporadic effort could have achieved. Habits work because repeated actions shape your brain's neural pathways. When you perform an action consistently, it becomes automatic, requiring less mental effort. This is why habits are powerful. They allow your mind to operate efficiently while achieving goals without constant willpower. To build positive habits, start small. Trying to change everything at once often leads to failure. Focus on one manageable habit, perform it consistently, and gradually increase its scope. For example, if your goal is to exercise regularly, start with 10 minutes a day rather than attempting an hour immediately. Small, consistent steps lead to lasting change. Triggers and cues are essential for forming habits. A trigger is something that reminds you to perform a habit, like brushing your teeth before bed or setting a timer for reading. Consistent triggers create a routine, signaling your brain to act automatically. For example, placing a book on your pillow can serve as a visual cue to read each night. Consider Emily, who wanted to practice drawing daily. She placed her sketchbook on her desk every morning and made a habit of drawing for 10 minutes after finishing breakfast. The consistent cue and small action led to a long-term habit that significantly improved her skills. Breaking bad habits requires awareness and replacement. First, identify the triggers that lead to unproductive behavior. Then, replace the habit with a positive alternative. For instance, if scrolling social media is a distraction during study time, you can replace it with a 5-minute walk or a brief stretch. The key is to satisfy the underlying need while redirecting the action toward growth. Self-discipline strengthens habits. At the beginning, habits require effort and focus. Sticking to a routine, even when motivation fades, solidifies the habit over time. Once the habit becomes automatic, it requires minimal mental energy and supports other areas of personal growth. Accountability can reinforce habits. Sharing your goal or habit with someone you trust creates external motivation. Knowing that someone else is aware of your routine encourages consistency and reduces the chance of skipping it. Tracking progress, marking a calendar, or journaling achievements also strengthens commitment. Habits compound over time. Small, consistent actions multiply into significant results. Reading 10 pages daily, practicing a skill for 15 minutes, or saving a small amount of money each week may seem minor, but over months and years they produce noticeable transformation. This compounding effect is what separates those who achieve goals from those who remain stagnant. Consider Liam, who wanted to improve his fitness. He began walking 10 minutes each day, gradually increasing distance and intensity. Months later, the small daily habit transformed his health and endurance. Consistency, not intensity, created lasting change. Habits also influence mindset. Positive routines, like journaling, meditation, or reflection, strengthen focus, gratitude, and resilience. Negative routines, like procrastination or complaining, reinforce limiting beliefs and unproductive behavior. By intentionally shaping habits, you shape your mind and actions. Pairing habits with rewards accelerates their formation. After completing a positive action, celebrate small wins or acknowledge progress. This reinforces the habit loop in your brain, making it more likely to continue. For example, after completing a study session, allow yourself a short break or treat. The habit becomes associated with positive feelings. Habits also interact with goals. Goals give direction, while habits provide the mechanism to achieve them. Long-term objectives are realized through consistent, repeated actions. Without habits, goals often remain unfulfilled because progress requires continuous effort. Visualization and self-belief strengthen habit formation. Imagining yourself performing the habit successfully and trusting your ability to follow through increases the likelihood of success. The mind prepares for action, reducing resistance and reinforcing consistency. Breaking negative habits requires patience. Replace one behavior at a time. Be forgiving when you slip, and persistently return to the desired routine. Over time, the new habit becomes stronger than the old one, creating lasting transformation. Consider Noah, who wanted to reduce screen time. Initially, he struggled, often giving in to temptation. He replaced social media with reading or short outdoor walks. At first, he needed discipline and reminders, but over weeks, the new routine became automatic. His focus, productivity, and mood improved as a result. Finally, habits are the foundation of personal growth. They support focus, self-discipline, resilience, goal achievement, gratitude, visualization, and self-belief. By consciously creating positive routines and breaking negative ones, you design a life that aligns with your goals and values. As you finish this chapter, identify one small habit that can move you closer to a personal goal. Commit to performing it consistently for the next week, tracking progress and adjusting as needed. In the next chapter, we will explore the power of time management and how using your time wisely multiplies the impact of your habits, focus, and efforts. Chapter 13. The Power of Time Management. Time is one of the most valuable resources you have. Unlike money or possessions, once a moment passes, you cannot get it back. Managing your time effectively ensures that your energy, focus, and effort produce the greatest results. People who master time management are often more productive, less stressed, and achieve their goals faster. Consider Sarah, a student who always felt overwhelmed by homework, activities, and personal projects. She often stayed up late, rushing to finish tasks, and still felt behind. Then she learned to manage her time. She started by making a schedule, prioritizing tasks, and allocating specific periods for studying, hobbies, and rest. The results were immediate. She completed tasks efficiently, reduced stress, and had free time to enjoy other activities. Time management turned chaos into control. Effective time management starts with prioritization. Not all tasks are equally important. Focus on high-value activities that move you closer to your goals. The urgent and important tasks deserve attention first, while less critical activities can be scheduled later or eliminated. Understanding priorities ensures that your time produces meaningful outcomes. Consider Alex, who wanted to learn guitar while keeping up with schoolwork. Instead of practicing whenever he felt like it, he scheduled consistent 30-minute sessions after homework. By focusing on the most important practice routines first, his skills improved quickly without sacrificing other responsibilities. Planning and scheduling are key tools. Break down big tasks into smaller, manageable steps and assign time blocks for each. This reduces procrastination and creates a sense of control. For instance, writing a report can be divided into research, outlining, drafting, and revising, each with its own scheduled period. Small, focused blocks of time make large projects less overwhelming. Avoiding multitasking is important. Studies show that switching between tasks reduces efficiency and increases mistakes. Concentrating on one task at a time ensures higher quality work and faster completion. For example, studying math for 30 minutes without checking your phone produces better results than splitting time between multiple tasks. Time management also involves knowing when to rest. Overworking leads to fatigue, burnout, and reduced focus. Scheduled breaks, relaxation, and sleep restore energy, improve cognitive function, and maintain long-term productivity. Balance between work and rest is crucial for sustainable growth. Consider Maya, who struggled to balance school, sports, and hobbies. She often skipped breaks to finish tasks, but became exhausted and less productive. When she scheduled short breaks between activities, her focus and efficiency improved. Time management is not just about doing more, it's about using time wisely. Tools like calendars, planners, or digital apps can support time management. Writing down tasks, setting reminders, and tracking progress ensures that nothing is forgotten. Visual schedules also provide motivation and a clear view of accomplishments. Another key principle is setting deadlines. Even self-imposed deadlines create accountability and urgency. They help overcome procrastination and focus your efforts. For example, setting a goal to finish a chapter by a certain date increases concentration and action. Time management interacts with habits and routines. Consistent routines automate productive actions, reducing the mental effort required to start tasks. Morning routines, dedicated study sessions, or planned exercise times ensure that important habits are performed consistently. Consider Liam, who wanted to improve his fitness and study habits. He created a daily schedule that included time for schoolwork, exercise, and relaxation. By following a consistent routine, he built habits automatically, leaving less room for distractions or procrastination. Time management also improves decision-making. When your schedule is clear and priorities are defined, it's easier to choose actions that align with your goals. Wasting time on low-value activities becomes obvious, and focus shifts to what truly matters. Delegation can be part of effective time management. Sharing responsibilities or seeking help frees up time for higher priority tasks. For students, this could mean collaborating on group work efficiently or asking for guidance to save time on difficult subjects. Reflection and review are crucial. At the end of each day or week, review your progress. Evaluate how time was spent and adjust future schedules. Continuous improvement ensures that your time management evolves with your goals and challenges. Effective time management reduces stress. Knowing what to do, when to do it, and how to approach tasks brings control and confidence. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, you can approach tasks with clarity and purpose. Time management is also closely linked with goal achievement. Goals define what is important, and time management ensures that actions are aligned with those priorities. Without managing your time, even well-defined goals can remain unachieved due to wasted hours or inconsistent effort. Finally, time management empowers you to create space for growth, creativity, and personal development. By using time intentionally, you can balance work, learning, health, relationships, and hobbies. It is a skill that multiplies the impact of focus, habits, discipline, and resilience, ensuring that your efforts lead to meaningful progress. As you finish this chapter, review your daily routine. Identify one area where time could be used more effectively, and commit to a small adjustment. Observe how this change improves focus, productivity, and your ability to achieve goals. In the next chapter, we will explore the importance of focus and how concentrating your energy on what matters most can transform your life. Chapter 14. The power of focus. Focus is the ability to direct your attention and energy toward what truly matters. In a world full of distractions, mastering focus is one of the most powerful tools for achieving your goals. When you concentrate deeply on a task, your productivity, efficiency, and creativity increase dramatically. Consider Emma, a student who often started homework but got distracted by her phone, music, or thoughts. She struggled to finish tasks and felt frustrated by slow progress. One day, she decided to practice focused work. She put away distractions, set a timer for 30 minutes, and concentrated solely on her assignment. The results surprised her. She completed more work in half the usual time, felt proud of her concentration, and noticed that her understanding of the material improved. Focus amplified her effort and produced better results. Focus requires clarity of purpose. When you know what matters most, your attention naturally gravitates toward those priorities. Without clarity, your mind jumps between tasks, ideas, and distractions. Setting specific goals, identifying essential actions, and establishing routines ensures that focus is directed effectively. Consider Alex, who wanted to improve his drawing skills. Instead of doodling randomly, he focused on practicing one technique at a time, studying proportions and shading. The focused approach accelerated his progress far more than unfocused practice ever could. Eliminating distractions is key. Phones, social media, noise, or even multitasking reduce focus. Creating an environment conducive to concentration improves results. For instance, studying in a quiet room, turning off notifications, or using tools to block distractions helps you maintain deep focus. Time blocking is an effective strategy. Allocate specific periods for concentrated work, free from interruptions. For example, dedicate 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. for math practice and 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. for reading. This structure reinforces discipline and helps your mind enter a state of flow, where work feels effortless and highly productive. Focus strengthens over time with practice. Start with shorter periods and gradually extend them. The brain adapts, allowing longer stretches of deep work. Consistency and gradual improvement build attention muscles, increasing your ability to concentrate under challenging circumstances. Consider Liam, who wanted to write a story. At first, he could focus for only 10 minutes. By practicing daily and gradually extending the time, he eventually wrote for an hour or more, with minimal distractions. His storytelling skills improved, and he completed his work faster and more creatively. Prioritization and focus work hand in hand. Concentrate on high-value activities that align with your goals. Low-priority tasks can be postponed or delegated. Focusing on what truly matters ensures that your effort produces meaningful outcomes instead of wasting energy on trivial matters. Focus also supports problem-solving and creativity. When your mind is concentrated, you notice patterns, make connections, and generate ideas more effectively. Distractions scatter attention and reduce cognitive performance, making tasks take longer and solutions harder to find. Consider Maya, a young scientist working on a school experiment. When she concentrated fully on observing patterns and recording data without interruption, she noticed a solution that others had missed. Focus enabled insight that would have been impossible in a distracted state. Visualization enhances focus. Imagine completing a task successfully before starting. Picture the steps, the effort required, and the satisfaction of achievement. This mental rehearsal prepares your mind to act deliberately and maintain concentration. Self-discipline supports focus. Sometimes motivation fluctuates, and distractions tempt you to quit or procrastinate. Discipline ensures that you stick with the task until completion, strengthening your ability to maintain attention under pressure. Breaks and rest are essential. Focus is not about working endlessly. The brain needs recovery. Techniques like the Pomodoro method, working intensely for 25 minutes, then resting for 5, maintain energy and attention throughout the day. Proper sleep, exercise, and nutrition also support cognitive function and sustained focus. Focus is closely linked to self-belief and growth mindset. When you trust your abilities and believe you can improve, you approach tasks with purpose and determination. Concentration becomes easier, and challenges are tackled with resilience and confidence. Consider Noah, who struggled to finish math homework. With self-belief, he told himself he could solve the problems. He eliminated distractions and concentrated fully. Step by step, he completed the work successfully. Focus multiplied his effort and converted belief into achievement. Focus also magnifies habits, routines, and goal setting. Performing consistent, intentional actions with full attention increases their effectiveness. A habit done mindfully produces more results than one performed passively. Goals achieved through focused effort bring faster and more satisfying outcomes. Practical ways to strengthen focus include setting clear priorities, creating distraction-free environments, using time blocks, practicing meditation or mindfulness, and gradually extending periods of concentration. Over time, focused attention becomes a habit, enhancing productivity, learning, and personal growth. Finally, focus is the bridge between intention and action. Knowing what you want, committing your attention, and maintaining concentration ensures that effort translates into results. Mastering focus multiplies the impact of habits, discipline, visualization, self-belief, and time management, creating a life of purpose, achievement, and growth. As you finish this chapter, identify one task where distractions commonly occur. Set aside a focused block of time to work on it without interruption. Notice the difference in productivity, clarity, and satisfaction. In the next chapter, we will explore the power of persistence and how never giving up can overcome obstacles and lead to extraordinary success. Chapter 15. The Power of Persistence. Persistence is the ability to keep going, even when things get difficult. It is the determination to continue working toward your goals, despite setbacks, failures, or challenges. People who persist achieve success because they refuse to quit, learning from mistakes and adapting along the way. Persistence transforms potential into accomplishment. Consider Emma, a student who wanted to learn to play the piano. At first, her fingers hurt, and she kept making mistakes. Many would have given up, thinking it was too difficult, but Emma decided to keep practicing, day after day, no matter how small the progress. Slowly, her skills improved. What once seemed impossible became achievable. Persistence turned frustration into mastery. Persistence requires mindset. Challenges are inevitable, but a persistent person sees obstacles as temporary. They understand that success rarely happens overnight, and that effort, consistency, and resilience are necessary for growth. Without persistence, talent, knowledge, or opportunity alone may not lead to achievement. Consider Liam, who wanted to run a 10-kilometer race. During training, he often felt tired, faced bad weather, or experienced minor injuries. Each obstacle tempted him to quit. Instead, he adjusted his training, maintained his effort, and focused on long-term improvement. On race day, he completed the course successfully. His persistence carried him through the difficulties that could have stopped someone else. Persistence grows from small, consistent actions. Daily effort, even if modest, compounds over time. Each step forward builds confidence, strengthens skills, and creates momentum. The key is not to wait for motivation, but to act consistently, trusting that results will follow. Consider Noah, a young writer. He faced repeated rejections from publishers. Each refusal was discouraging, but he continued writing, improving his work, and submitting to new opportunities. Eventually, his persistence paid off, and his book was published. Success rarely comes without perseverance. Self-belief strengthens persistence. When you trust in your ability to overcome challenges, you are more likely to continue despite setbacks. Positive self-talk, reflection on past successes, and confidence in your effort make it easier to stay committed when progress feels slow. Persistence also interacts with other personal growth skills. Focus ensures that your energy is directed toward meaningful tasks. Habits create automatic routines that support long-term effort. Goal setting defines your path. Resilience allows you to recover from setbacks. Visualization motivates and guides your actions. Self-belief sustains confidence. Combined, these skills amplify the power of persistence. Consider Mia, a student who wanted to improve her grades. She faced difficult subjects, low test scores, and discouraging feedback. Rather than giving up, she set achievable goals, followed a study routine, visualized success, and believed in her ability to improve. Through consistent effort and determination, she gradually mastered the material and excelled in her exams. Persistence turned challenge into achievement. Persistence teaches valuable lessons. Every setback or failure provides information about what to adjust. Rather than seeing obstacles as failures, persistent individuals analyze what went wrong, make changes, and continue. This process of learning through action strengthens skills, judgment, and resilience. Consider Alex, an aspiring programmer. Each time his code failed, he debugged, researched solutions, and tried again. Through repeated effort, he mastered programming languages and built successful projects. His persistence transformed frustration into expertise. Patience complements persistence. Results often take time, And immediate success is rare. Trusting the process, maintaining effort, and staying committed over months or years create meaningful achievement. Impatience can lead to giving up too soon, while patient persistence produces lasting growth. Persistence is also fueled by purpose. When you understand why your goal matters, you are more motivated to continue, even in the face of difficulty. Clear objectives, combined with personal meaning, sustain effort through challenges that might otherwise discourage you. Consider Ethan, who wanted to start a community garden. Initial setbacks included poor soil, lack of tools, and low participation. However, his commitment to the vision kept him going. He learned from mistakes, asked for help, and adapted plans. Within a year, the garden flourished. Persistence turned vision into reality. Practical ways to strengthen persistence include setting clear and meaningful goals, breaking tasks into manageable steps, celebrating small wins, learning from failures, maintaining self-belief, and following consistent routines. Each action reinforces determination and builds momentum toward success. Persistence also creates confidence. Each obstacle you overcome proves to yourself that you can handle challenges. Over time, confidence grows, making future setbacks less intimidating and increasing the likelihood of continued effort and achievement. Finally, persistence is the bridge between potential and accomplishment. Talent, intelligence, and opportunity alone are insufficient without consistent effort. By refusing to quit, learning from setbacks, and maintaining steady progress, you achieve results that others might consider impossible. Persistence is the ultimate differentiator between those who dream and those who succeed. As you finish this final chapter, reflect on one goal or challenge that you have been avoiding or struggling with. Take a single step today, however small, toward overcoming it. Commit to continuing consistently, learning from mistakes, and believing in your ability to succeed. Persistence, combined with all the skills we have explored, focus habits, resilience, visualization, goal setting, gratitude, growth mindset, and self-belief, ensures that you can turn your aspirations into reality.